Hi. Hi. So I'm kind of nervous, so if I screw it up a little bit, just bear with me. I know some of you out here, but I don't know all of you, so too bad. I'm going to read from my little handy-dandy speech because I forget everything I say. Okay, here we go. In early 2007, I was going to school full-time and working part-time as a waitress. I was constantly tired, but never thought anything of it. Most college students I knew, like myself, were burning the midnight oil and never seemed to get enough sleep. Also, I had a swollen lymph node on the side of my neck after a cold and a sore throat. Again, I thought nothing of it. After a few months, I went to my family doctor because the lymph node was still swollen, despite the fact that I didn't feel sick anymore. I went through a round of antibiotics that didn't do anything, and then I was sent to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. He said that I had a virus that would eventually go away, nothing to worry about. By this point, another swollen lymph node had popped up in my collarbone, which I didn't even know that you had lymph nodes in your collarbone. About a month later, after we saw the ear, nose, and throat specialist for the first time, I woke up Mother's Day weekend with 11 swollen lymph nodes all over my body. Anyways, the decision was then made to biopsy the original swollen lymph node in my neck and one in my leg. After my biopsies, I was officially diagnosed with stage 4 T-cell precursor acute lymphoblastic lymphoma. There are no doctors in Corpus who can treat my specific type of cancer, so I was sent to MD Anderson in Houston. Upon arrival and after many more tests, the doctors discovered that I also had leukemia, which just means that there were also cancerous cells in my blood and my bone marrow. I went through 10 months of aggressive chemotherapy. Although there were very few upsides to having cancer, the one good thing was that I didn't have to shave my legs for 10 months, which is really cool. Along the way, though, I lost all of my hair, dealt with unbearable bone and muscle pain, went through surgery, and dealt with the emotional stress that comes along with having cancer. I had to stop coming to school because I couldn't be around a lot of people during chemotherapy, and a minor illness that might appear could have turned into something major since my immune system was so compromised. When I was able to feel well enough to hang out with my friends, either they had to wear a mask or I had to wear a mask to avoid any minor cold or infection. Also along the way, I ended up with a life-threatening blood clot in my lung, pneumonia, and numerous hospital stays and ER visits. Although I'm in remission, I still take pills every day. I have IV chemotherapy once a month, and every 3 months I have a lumbar puncture where they stick a big old hunk of needle in your spine. And then I also have bone marrow aspirations where they stick the same big, huge needle in your hip. I don't care if you listen to any of that, but if you listen to anything, listen to what I have to say right now, okay? With the type of cancer that I had, there was nothing that I could do to prevent it. Nothing. I didn't ask to have cancer. I didn't want to get cancer. I mean, I don't know who does, but it's just something that happened. 1 in 3 Americans will get diagnosed with cancer in his or her lifetime. So pick 2 of your closest friends that are here with you, and one of you is going to get cancer. As a college student, I walk up and down this campus all the time. I walk out of the Science and Tech building, I walk out of the UC, and I see people smoking constantly. And it's ridiculous. Lung cancer, I don't know if you knew this, but it's the leading cause of death of all the different types of cancer, but it's also the most preventable type of cancer. Not only does smoking increase your chances of lung cancer, but it also increases your chances of getting mouth, nose, esophagus, stomach, liver, pancreas, kidney, and bladder cancer. So that's a lot of different stuff from smoking. Half of Americans who keep smoking will die because of it, and tobacco kills more Americans than alcohol, car accidents, suicide, AIDS, homicide, and illegal drugs combined. All of this is completely preventable from not smoking. Also, I know a lot of girls, including myself, went to tanning beds, go to tanning beds, but you also need to know that over 1 million cases of skin cancer that are diagnosed can be prevented just by not going to a tanning bed, by using self-tan or embracing your whiteness like I do, or putting on sunscreen. So I know that you've heard it 1,000 times and read it in every single issue of Cosmo or Glamour or whatever else there is, but wear sunscreen because it's something that you need to do so that you can be protected against cancer, so that you don't get cancer. It's completely, totally preventable. Also, there's an organization here on campus, some of you have seen our tables, some of you haven't, called Colleges Against Cancer, and it's supported by our local American Cancer Society. They meet here on campus. It just helps students like ourselves impact the other students around here in the fight against cancer. And our next meeting is Thursday, November 13th in Ballroom C, plug for CAC. Please remember that there are so many ways to prevent cancer. No one should ever have to go through what me and so many others have gone through. And don't sit here and think cancer's not going to happen to you, because I never thought it was going to happen to me, and it did. If you end up in a situation like this, though, remember to stay positive and to keep your head up, because there are a lot of people out there who are fighting the fight with you. So thank you very much.